Buying a home is likely going to be the biggest purchase you ever make in your entire life. This is why it's crucial to do your research in order to avoid common mistakes that could end up costing you thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars. Welcome back, and if you're new here, my name is Conor Hertell with Exp Realty, and this channel is Living on Long Island, where I show you everything you need to know about the Long Island lifestyle and how to navigate the unique real estate market here. Make sure to subscribe if you want to stay up to date on all things Long Island, and feel free to reach out anytime using the About section of this channel. All of the different contact methods are in there. Thanks for joining me today, and remember, if you're going to buy or sell, call Hertell. In today's video, I'm going to be breaking down the entire home buying process in New York step by step, giving you a leg up against your competition. I guarantee you that if you watch this video to the end, you'll know exactly what to do at every turn during the home buying process. So without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, so step one is determining your budget and getting pre-approved. Now this doesn't mean go online and look at mortgage calculators and plug in your own numbers and try to figure out which monthly payment you would like, right? You need to consult with a mortgage professional. They're going to be able to go through your finances with you and look at all of the details and figure out what's going to be the loan program for you that's the best option, right? There's a lot of different loan programs. So working with a professional, they're going to be able to outline exactly what each one looks like and why one might be better for your situation than another. Be prepared to have your credit checked and to submit income documents like W-2s, tax returns, and recent pay stubs. These are the things that your mortgage professional is going to use in order to determine what your actual budget is on paper. After they collect all of this information, they will then provide you with a pre-approval letter which outlines exactly how much house you can afford. Without this letter, your realtor is not going to be able to submit offers for you, and also a lot of times sellers are not even going to allow you to view their property without being pre-approved first. This is why it's absolutely crucial that getting pre-approved is your first step. Step number two is determine your wants and needs and hire a realtor. Now that you have your pre-approval in hand, you're going to want to go out looking at homes. However, without a realtor, you're going to find that you're going to have a bit of a difficult time. If you're just searching through Zillow, you're going to see that a lot of times the information on there is inaccurate, and it's a lot more difficult than you think to get in touch with a listing agent and get into a showing. So working with a real estate agent as a buyer doesn't cost you anything extra out of pocket. Typically, the seller is the one who pays the buyer's agent commission. So there's literally no downside to working with a realtor. You wouldn't show up to court without a lawyer, right? Buying a home without a realtor is the same thing. You wouldn't believe how many times I've heard the same story from buyers who aren't using an agent. They always say, we keep putting an offer in, but we keep getting beat out. And the reason why this is all too common is because unless you look at 1,000 homes a week, know how to do a comparative market analysis, and are well versed on all of the different facets that affect an offer, then you're probably not presenting the best case possible to get your offer accepted. A good buyer's agent is going to get to know exactly what you're looking for in a home, go out and find homes that fit that criteria, help you with negotiating purchase price, repairs, and credits. They're going to put you in touch with all of the professionals that you need to be in touch with along the way, and they're going to make sure that you understand exactly what's happening. So trust me, just go out and hire a realtor. It's going to make the process way smoother for you. Also, just make sure that when you're going to choose your real estate agent, that you're not hiring just any old realtor, right? You want to have some sort of vetting process, and I'm actually going to be doing a separate video on that, on exactly what you should be looking for in a buyer's agent. So stay tuned for that. But for now, just know that when you're going to choose your realtor, don't hire just anybody. Step number three is find the right home and get an accepted offer. Once you've chosen the realtor that you want to work with, they're going to take you out looking at homes, and eventually you're going to find something that you love. Now you need to get an accepted offer on it. Remember when I said that offers consist of many facets? I'm going to briefly lay them out for you here so you have an understanding of what's going on when it comes to this point. So there's four main factors that affect an offer. Number one is purchase price. Obviously, the higher the purchase price, the better. Number 2 is the type of loan that you're using. Certain loans can be more preferable than others. For instance, a conventional is usually more preferable than an FHA loan because FHA loans have safety guidelines that the property needs to meet, and if the property is not currently up to standard, then the seller would have to make repairs, and they're not going to want to do that. Number 3 is your down payment amount and the deposit on contract. The more your down payment is, the more flexibility you're going to have to deal with situations that may arise after being under contract. And number 4 is your timeline. The sellers want to close on their timeline. So if your timeline is flexible, then that's best for them. Once you've got an accepted offer, it's time for step 4, which is inspection and negotiate repairs and credits. At this point, things begin to move very quickly, and it's a race to get the property under contract before somebody else comes in and presents a better offer. You're going to want to get on the phone immediately with a licensed home inspector and schedule an inspection. The inspector is going to go through the home and inspect every single aspect of it, and they're going to provide you with a detailed report on what may or may not need to be repaired. Now, you're going to use this report as leverage in order to negotiate repairs and credits with the seller. For example, if the home that you're purchasing has some mold growing in the basement, you're going to be able to use that information as leverage and get the seller to repair that before closing, or provide you with a credit at the closing table in order for you to repair it when the home becomes yours. After everybody's agreed on the terms of these repairs and credits, you're going to move on to step number 5, which is to sign the contract. Alright, so mid-video I had to rearrange a little bit, so there's a bit of a change of scenery. Hope you like this a little better. We're going to continue on with step 5. Alright, so at this point, attorneys get involved. The seller has an attorney, and you also need an attorney. Now that you're watching this video, you should know to get prepared beforehand, right? You want to get an attorney early on in the process and let them know, hey, I'm buying a home. I need you to represent me in my best interest when it comes time to get under contract. You really don't want to wait till the last second for this because, as I said before, this whole thing becomes a race as soon as you get an accepted offer. So if you have an attorney waiting on the sidelines, that's going to be very beneficial for you after you get your accepted offer. The main thing that you need to understand here is that you want to get yourself a real estate attorney. You don't want to get somebody who specializes in criminal defense, let's say, right? You want to make sure you get somebody who specializes in real estate. They do this stuff day in and day out, and they know exactly how to protect your best interests when it comes time to sign the contract. The seller's attorney is the one who's going to draft up the contract, and then your attorney is going to go over it and make sure everything's great so that you have every ability to back out of the deal without losing your money if something goes wrong. When you go to sign the contract, you're going to provide a deposit on contract, and that is a certain amount of money to let the sellers know that you have skin in the game and you're not going to just walk away from the deal. You sign, the seller signs, and now you're officially under contract. Now it's time for step number 6, which is the formal mortgage application and the appraisal process. At this point, you're going to go back to your mortgage professional that you've been working with since the beginning and submit a formal loan application. They're going to ask you for updated versions of all of the income documents to make sure that everything still checks out, because this could be months later from when you first talked to them. Then your lender is going to order an appraisal. They need to make sure that the asset that they're lending you money for is worth what you've offered to pay for it. An appraiser is going to go out to the property, they're going to take some pictures and take some notes, and then they're going to do a comparative market analysis similar to your realtor, where they compare that home with other homes that are similar that have sold in the area to make sure that the price you offered to pay for it lines up with the current market. Assuming all goes well with the appraisal, your loan application is now going to go into the underwriting process, in which your lender makes sure one last time that everything checks out. After that, you'll get a mortgage commitment letter, which means you're good to go as far as the money's concerned, and you're almost at the finish line. And now it's time for step 7, which is getting prepared to close. While everything was going on with your lender and the appraisal process, your attorney and title company were hard at work making sure that there's no third-party interests on the property and that the survey and property lines all line up. Now you're going to want to secure homeowners insurance to protect your asset, and provide proof of insurance to your lender prior to closing. You're also going to be doing a lot of miscellaneous things like schedule with a moving company, getting prepared to turn all the utilities on in your name, and getting checks together for the day of closing. Now all that's left to do is one final thing, which is step 8, final walkthrough and closing day. So typically on the day of or the day before closing, you're going to go back to the property with your realtor and do what's called a final walkthrough. The final walkthrough is your chance to make sure that everything in the property is as it was when you decided to put in your offer. So you're going back through the house, you're making sure that there's no like new scuffs on the wall, there's no broken windows, make sure the heat's still working, there's no leaks, and you want to make sure that everything that was supposed to be included with the sale of property is still there, like your washer, dryer, dishwasher, things of that nature. Assuming everything checks out, you're now going to head over to the location of your closing, which is usually an attorney's office or sometimes it's held at a lender's office. But basically, you're going to meet your realtor there. At least they should be there. You're also going to meet your attorney there, and your attorney's going to make you go through this giant stack of paper, which includes a ton of documents that are relevant to the closing, and they're going to make sure that you understand everything as you sign it. You're going to be doing a lot of signing today. But at the end of all this, you're going to be handed a set of keys, and congratulations, because you are now a homeowner. The only thing left to do is move all your stuff in and start enjoying your new home. And that's it. That's the entire home buying process in New York from start to finish. Just by understanding the steps that we went over in this video today, you're going to be leagues ahead of your competition. When it comes to all things real estate, preparation is paramount. I hope you learned a little something today and enjoyed the video. If you have any questions about what I covered, real estate in general, or if you have any feedback about the video, please leave it down in the comments below. I love hearing from you guys, and I want to make sure that you're getting all the information that you need in order to make smart decisions in real estate. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.